Hello, everybody. This is Artie Astor from B Sharp and C, and I am going to do Mission Souls because a couple weeks ago they released TNT by AC/DC, and I haven't heard it yet, and I literally do not know what to expect because it's such a uniquely sung song. So I'll probably be focusing on the vocals, but I kind of want to focus also on the overall vibe because AC/DC is a hard vibe to copy. So that's what I want to get into. Before I do, I actually want to mention someone actually recently even asked me if I'm a music producer, if I produce music, and I do. If you go to this YouTube channel, Artie Aster, and go to playlists, there is a playlist right here of 60 of my originals, and I actually have a bunch of songs on there that are songs that are composed, recorded, and produced by yours truly. I'm wearing the same shirt. Well, kind of. Man, I wish I still had that Schecter guitar. Anyways, I wanted to get that out there because of the simple fact that I've been asked. In fact, interestingly, I have been harshly criticized because people have sent me messages saying, "Well, who the heck are you to talk about someone else's song if you don't even know what you're doing?" One guy actually said, what did he say? Oh, so a keyboard and a guitar and a saxophone in the background makes you an expert on music. And I actually wrote back and said, yes, it actually does. But anyways, let's get right in to this song, T.N.T. by AC/DC, but it's actually the Mission Souls doing a cover. I'm super excited, and I'm kind of afraid. I'm kind of afraid. I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'm actually going to be disappointed because I think AC/DC is super hard to do. What I would like to see happen here is the Mission Souls saying, let's not try to copy AC/DC, let's do it our way. And that's something that I've noticed with a lot of Gigi DeLana songs. When she goes into it, she doesn't go into it saying, um, let me be Adam Levine, right? But she's Gigi DeLana doing a song that was written by Maroon 5. So without any further ado, I think I've done enough talking. Let's get right into this. Woo-doo!
See me right out of the sunset on your color TV screen. And for all that I can get, if you know what I mean. Women to the left of me, women to the right. Ain't got no gun, ain't got no knife.
That's actually not easy to do. Your glasses fall over your head, you're a little confused, and you have to keep a rhythm. Something as simple as that, it really goes to show how much Nisha. Someone corrected me recently. I was saying Nisha, and then someone said it's Nisha, and they like with the e's, e. So I'm gonna start saying Nisha until someone corrects me and then says it's Nisha. I don't know. That can be distracting. That can be distracting. And but it just goes to show how the guitar playing has just become second nature to her. It's one of those things that it doesn't throw them completely off course. Trust me, I've seen young musicians, I've seen beginner musicians when they have an itch or their glasses are uncomfortable or something happens, they actually stop and start over. Um, so having your muscle memory make it second nature is actually just goes to show how much practice and work that she's been putting into playing the guitar.
Don't you start no fight, 'cause I'm TNT, I'm dynamite, TNT, and I win the fight, TNT, power load, TNT, watch me explode. It's dirty, mean, mighty unclean, a wanted man, public enemy number one. Understand? So lock up your daughter, lock up your wife, lock up your back door, run for your life. The man is back in town, so don't you mess around. 'Cause I'm TNT, I'm dynamite, TNT, and I win the fight.
All right, I think Nisha needs to just take the glasses off. They keep falling down, but she's dealing with it. She's dealing with it, so that's great. What do I think so far? I feel like we're halfway through, so we're more than halfway through. What do I think so far? Um, this is a fun song, and I really think the synergy between Ice and Nace is really, really, really good. I like the synergy between those two. It's drum heavy and bass heavy, even though neither of those instruments, the drums or bass, in this song are super complicated, super complex, but they are the driving force. And then, of course, you have, Nisha on the guitar just doing those power chords. Actually, I don't know if they're power chords. It feels like power chords. I just think it's a regular chord with a little bit of extra oomph. Let me see if I can zoom in on her.
Right? Ain't got no gun, ain't got no knife.
Yeah, they're not power chords. She's playing chords. It's just that there's a little bit of extra, um, distortion and overdrive on the guitar, which I like that guitar. She's playing looks like a Les Paul, and I usually see her with a Fender Stratocaster. I love this Telly right here that Stacy is playing. Her vocals are really nice on this, and I love how she's not trying to mimic the exact vocals of, I think it was Bon Scott. Is that his name? But I know that he died, and then someone else came in, Brian. It's Brian something, Brian Sullivan. I honestly don't know. But I believe this was the first original singer's vocals on this on the studio version. I love how she's not trying to mimic that, and it is a very tough song to match. This song has always kind of struck me as a song that is very simple structurally. It's just put together very simply. It's basically just like a couple of chords. There's not a lot going on, um, but it's full, full of energy and drive and personality. And that can be very tough to match, but they do a good job doing it. I like how they all come in, for certain vocal parts. And then in the beginning, they were all doing the, oi, oi, I really like that. But yeah, this is Naces and Ice kind of, to me, this is like them together creating a sound. That's my opinion. I do believe there's a guitar solo in this song. So let me go back to 2 minutes, which is where we were. Sorry for the long pause. And let's go back.
TNT, I'm a power load,
So I want to go back because this bass that Nations is playing seems very simple, and it is, but at its base, it's a very simple type of bass line because it's the same note being repeated over and over again, but it's the driving force of the song. So she's responsible, and Ice is responsible for the driving force of the song. If that's off, everybody's gonna feel it, you know? Someone laughed. Who laughed? I heard a laugh. Is it just me? Am I hallucinating? I love these guys. Did she break a string? That would be awesome, but I don't think she did. Oh, she did. I thought she broke a string. Oh, she ends with the glasses on. She's like, oh, whatever. They fell down. I'll just leave them on. I love doing the Mission Souls. I think one of the reasons why I like doing the Mission Souls is because we're watching the formation of something great, and I think all four of them have a great career ahead of them. Um, I still don't think we've seen the full potential of Stacy. And I think one of the reasons why is because she's the vocalist to a band that so far, and I could be missing something. I know in the comments a lot of people talk about that they are working on some original material. Um, God, I should write a song for them and then send it to them and see if they want it. I have like 8 unreleased songs, but I think they want to do something that they write. But I have a bunch of songs that I've written that I bet you they would crush. Like they would just make them so good. Um, I think Stacy, when you're a young lead singer to a band that does covers, your your identity as a musician is harder to grasp than it would be for someone who does an instrument, you know? Um, Playing an instrument like the way Nisha does the guitar, and the way Nacy's does her bass and keyboard, and the way Ice does the drums. When you play an instrument, it's almost easier to find your identity. When you're a vocalist, you're torn between what you can do, how much freedom you have to create within the boundaries of the song, and trying to capture the feel of the original vocalist. I don't know why. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's harder for a vocalist sometimes in a cover band to find their identity. And I think that we've seen a lot of growth from Ice, Nisha, and Nacy's, right? We've seen a lot. I think Stacy in the next couple of years is going to just explode. She's such a talented musician, and she's got she plays guitar, she sings, and she sings marvelously well. But I would say I think that she is going to explode in the next year or two. Nisha is probably the one I'm the most surprised by. No, well, Ice I'm the most surprised by because he's like a prodigy. I mean, playing the drums at that age and playing them with feeling is just amazing. Um, but I'm the most surprised by Nisha because I think I've seen a tremendously high amount of growth. I think she's kind of going through it right now. She's realizing She's actually an amazing guitarist, and she's only going to get better. And she can play a lot of different styles of guitar, and that's not easy. That's not easy. David Gilmour from Pink Floyd has come right out and said, I wish I could play other styles of guitar, but when I pick up the guitar, I actually sound like me. I can't pick up the guitar and do anything else except sound like me. Nisha is extremely versatile, and it shows in what she's doing. And I think that she still is going to find herself an identity in the next couple of years as well. But I think Stacy, keep an eye on her because I think she's going to find her sweet spot very soon and then just continue to grow from there. I think all of these kids are extremely talented. And the fact that their parents, both parents, are music lovers is a huge help. Um Nacy's, it's interesting about her because when I first saw her starting to play bass, I was like, okay, she's playing bass. She does a good job. And now it looks like she's beginning to really like playing. I can see the enjoyment in her playing. Although I still think she probably prefers to be sitting at the keyboard, but I really do like hearing her play the bass. But you take the bass away from her and put her on the keyboard, then you have to have C-Can come in and play bass. So who else is going to play bass? The dad has to come in and play bass, you know? Um, but it's weird because it wasn't it. I think John Paul Jones, right? Played bass and keyboard. I believe the bass player for that band out of Michigan. Their name is escaping me. The band that everyone thinks sounds exactly like Led Zeppelin. Greta Van Fleet, the bass player for that band, also plays keyboard. For some reason, you see that in a lot of bands, right? And then you have the Doors, where Raymond Zarek would do the bass on the keyboard and then play, melody and chords with his right hand. But anyways, now I'm just rambling. Give me some suggestions. If you are a Mission Souls fan, okay, I need you to do something for me. I want you to recommend in the comments another band, another band that you like that does something like the Mission Souls. I don't want a suggestion for another Mission Souls band, and I don't want Gigi Delana, and it doesn't have to be a band from the Philippines either. It could be another band that you really like that you're excited about as much or almost as much as you are about the Mission Souls. Put that in the comment section below. I'm loving to hear from you. Anyways, this is Artie Astor saying, keep it groovy.